How's it going, YouTube? This is Wake Run Collapse. I'm on to box number 17 out of 20 of a Japanese Bandit ring. Marvelously enough, the ultra rare streak has continued. Make sure you guys go back and check out all the videos that I uploaded between Monday and Friday of this week, because it's been absolutely insane. These pull ratios are just out of sight. The cards that have coming out of these boxes is insane too. I also did not prepare for this at all, so we're just gonna play the game that we're gonna play. Get that piece of plastic out of there. And hopefully it doesn't end up being a total disaster. Alrighty, first pack we have Level Ball, Quagsire, Spinarak, Beldum, and Vileplume. I didn't even cut that pack the whole way. Here we have Eco Arm, Baltoy, Sableye, Gumi, and Porygon Z. Try to breeze through this a little bit. Regice, Inkay, Ariados, Eevee, and Mega Sceptile EX. That's our Mega for the box. Still lacking in Mega T-Tars, but what Mega Sceptile loses out on in the luster of his pull, he totally makes up for with a story. So I once joined a Mega Sceptile EX on a trip to the bar, and this is always pretty interesting because they're always going to ask a Sceptile for identification, which is kind of complicated when his friend Lugia is clearly of age. So I don't really know why they would insist on asking for identification, but so it goes, unfortunately. So Sceptile didn't bring his ID with him, which is, I don't know. I guess you kind of invite that kind of stuff when you don't bring your ID. It's like if you're going into a convenience store and you're buying a pack of cigarettes, and you know that there are certain places around town, and they're always going to ID you. So why would you bring it on yourself by not bringing your ID in with you? Kind of a little bit to blame for that, but obviously, like, he's not having a good day. We're headed to the bar in the first place, and he's pretty upset about this. So he does what you are absolutely not supposed to do in that scenario, and he starts yelling at the bartender. I mean, like, this guy is doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's trying to protect his company, making sure that they are free from liability, because if he serves to Mega Sceptile, and Mega Sceptile happens to turn out that he's underage, like, they can lose their license to sell alcohol. This is a real problem. It's actually happened to a couple of places that I used to frequent, where they would lose their license for a little while because it was found out that they were serving underage people, or they got caught with it somehow, and it's a big deal. You want to make sure you protect your community. And on the other hand, I understand where Sceptile's beef was, but this bartender guy, he gets yelled at all the time, and usually it's later in the night. Usually he's got a few hours of, regular, normal townsfolk to deal with on his way through. And you kind of get to work yourself up to it, because you know the night's going to be rough when you got characters like Megas coming out to the bar. You know that your night's probably going to be long, so why make it difficult now? So he starts yelling at the bartender, and like I said, it's really not the way to go, because you're not going to accomplish anything. You're not going to get anywhere. He's certainly not going to change his mind just because you were freaking out about it. And he starts yelling back at him, telling him, hey, you really should have brought your ID. If this mattered to you that much, you would bring it. And how am I supposed to know that you're not underage? So then a kind of a weird misunderstanding takes place, because Sceptile's, he's angry. Now, I've already received my beer at this point because I was smart and I brought my license with me. And he pounds on the table, and he pounds the table pretty hard. And this is clearly an expression of exasperation. He's annoyed that this has happened, but my beer is still at the end of the table, and I haven't grabbed it to take a sip from it yet. And my beer is still at the end of the table, and the force with which he hits the table causes the beer to tip over the edge a little bit, and it ends up on the bartender's shoes. And the bartender at this point is none too happy with this entire interaction. So I've got what was a full beer all over the floor. So now I'm kind of pissed at my friend Sceptile. And this is, not exactly par for the course for a night. just kind of how it ended up happening. And then the bartender throws us both out. I would have been fine with my buddy getting booted, my buddy Septile getting chucked, because really this is his fault to begin with. But clearly this guy has had absolutely enough of everything to do with our interaction, and he just gives us the boot. And he chucks us. And now at this point, Septile is just incensed. Absolutely freaking out. He gets up, he's leaning over, and he's sticking his finger in the bartender's face, and he's asking him if there's any way that he can get some energy. If he could go and get an energy drink, if he could just snag something off the shelf to try to make his night a little bit better. But he's absolutely not going to listen to him. There's nothing he can say to change his mind. At this point, we've gotten the boot. And knowing me, I'm not gonna make this any worse. I'm not gonna get the cops called on me or anything like that. And the other thing is that I'm looking over in the corner, and Hoopa's there as the bouncer. And this guy is really scary looking too. I do not want to get on his bad side. I've seen him around town a couple times before. I really know what he's made of. I don't want to flip. I've already seen Lugia go off. Septile is really on the verge of getting himself into serious trouble. And I'm looking over at Hoopa, and I'm thinking, you know, we really just need to go. We need to go somewhere else. We need to cut our losses for the evening and head out somewhere else and figure out what we're going to do for the night. But I've got to calm my friend Septile down. So I say, you know, I'm just going to level with you, man. We got to find a way that you can just enjoy your evening and forget about what has already happened. So what ends up happening is we head out, we do our thing, we forget all about all the bad stuff that happened back at the bar with Hoopa and everything like that. And by the end of the evening, I just try to head out somewhere where I can get my friend Septile some energy. Bye.